Thank you, Your Honor. Will you introduce yourself to this jury one more time?
Will Embert, and Jake is my dad.
May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
Yes.
Will, did you recognize that photo I just showed you?
Yes,
Okay. Who was in that exhibit?
my dad.
Will, we tell this jury about your dad?
It's just calling for a narrative. Can we have a slightly more specific question?
Just rephrase.
Sure. How would you describe your relationship with your dad?
We're best friends.
When you say that you were best friends, how often did you hang out?
Every chance I got.
Will, how old were you on June 28, 2014?
I was 17. I was 17.
Will, what happened on June 28, 2014?
Can you rephrase
Sure.
that?
Did your dad pass away on June 28, 2014?
Yes.
Will, who is your mom?
Betty Embert.
Was Miss Betty Embert married to your dad?
She was.
How long were they married?
About 26 years.
How old were you when they got divorced?
12 or 13.
Do you know Miss Susan Embert?
Yes, I do.
When did you first meet her?
I met her December of 2012.
And how did you meet her?
I met her going with my dad to pick her up from someone's house.
And when you say going to pick her up from someone's house, did you and
Your
your
Honor,
dad...
I'm going to object because the question is going to elicit hearsay and inadmissible character evidence.
May I be allowed to ask the question?
I didn't hear the complete question.
I didn't. When you say that you went to pick her up, did you and your dad drive somewhere?
Yes.
Where did you drive?
Sylvester, Sumner area.
And about how long was that ride?
25 minutes.
Do you remember what kind of car you were in?
Yes, we're in my dad's truck.
Was it an extended cab or was it a single cab?
It was an extended cab.
Prior to December 2012, did you have any kind of any kind of relationship with the defendant?
A relationship, no.
Did you ever develop a personal relationship with Susan Embert?
After December 2012?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
How would you describe your relationship with her?
When I first met her, it was okay just meeting someone, wanting to be nice towards them due to her and my dad dating. But eventually it did change.
Do you know how long the defendant and your dad had been dating before you met her in December of 2012?
Not exactly, no.
Your Honor, may I provide the witness with a bottle of water?
Sure.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Will, when you and your dad rode to go pick up the defendant in December of 2012, did she ride back to Doherty County with you?
She rode back with my dad, and I drove her mother's car.
Okay. Did Susan bring any belongings with her when you picked her up?
Yes.
Do you remember what she brought with her?
Clothes, mostly.
Okay. Do you recall how many bags?
Not exactly. It was a fair amount.
Okay. You previously stated that your relationship with the defendant changed. What did you mean by that?
I guess we weren't as nice to each other after her and my dad had been together.
Do you recall when that change occurred?
When they got married, around that time, after they got married.
When did they get married? Do you know?
March 2013.
Were you at the wedding?
No, I was not.
How did you find out about the wedding?
My dad told me.
Okay. Did you say anything to your dad about that when he called you?
About why I wasn't at the wedding?
Yes.
Yeah, yes.
Okay. And what did you say to him?
I asked him why I didn't go, why I couldn't go.
Did you say anything else to him?
About the wedding?
Yes, sir.
I was supposed to be his best man. He told me I would be his best man if he remarried.
I'm just going to object to hearsay. He told me he was supposed to be this man. Hearsay.
Question's been asked. I just move on, Your Honor.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Your Honor, would you mind instructing the jury to disregard a hearsay answer?
You can disregard that answer.
Will, how did you personally feel about them getting married without you being there?
I was upset
Why were you upset?
because wedding, marriage is a big deal, and I wanted to be there for my dad.
Prior to March 2013, when the defendant and your dad got married, how much time did you spend at your dad's house?
When it was during the school year, I was there every weekend.
What did you and your dad usually do when you were together in his house?
We go to the racetrack every weekend, the dirt track.
Will, did your dad own a race car?
Yes, he did.
What kind of car?
It was a 75 Firebird.
What color was it?
When I saw it, it was painted with primer, like a reddish brown color.
Did it have the Firebird logo on the hood?
Once upon a time it did.
Did that car run?
Once upon a time it did.
Did the car ever stop running?
Yes.
Do you recall when it stopped running?
I was young, maybe 4 is the last time I saw it running. I was 4 years old.
Did your dad ever attempt to get the car back running?
He did.
Did he ever get it back running?
No.
How often did he work on it?
Whenever he had some spare time, maybe when he got home from work and I wasn't there, just if he had the time, he would try and tinker with it, yeah.
Did you think that your dad knew a lot about fixing cars?
Yes.
And why'd you think that?
He was a mechanic.
Will, is it fair to say that your dad liked racing cars?
Yes.
Will, on the morning of June 28, 2014, did you go to your dad's house?
Yes.
What time did you first go to your dad's house?
10 o'clock in the morning, maybe 9:50. I was over there.
Okay. And what did you do while you were there?
I went there to change clothes, and I had a cup of coffee with my dad in the kitchen.
Okay. When you say you had a cup of coffee with your dad in the kitchen, did you have a kitchen table?
An island, yeah.
Okay. Did you sit down at that island with your dad?
Yes.
All right. And while you were sitting there having coffee with your dad, how would you describe your dad's demeanor?
Good. It looked like he had just woken up.
Did you guys talk about making plans that day?
Yes.
Okay. And what plans did you make with your dad that day?
We were going to go to the drag strip in Albany to watch the Firebird, the new owner of the Firebird, race the Firebird.
Okay. So you said there was a new owner of the Firebird. Did your dad sell that car?
He traded it.
Okay. When you said he traded it, did he? What does that mean? He traded it.
Due to the Firebird not running, my dad didn't have a lot of time to work on it, if any. So there was an exchange, the Firebird and the car hauler, for a Jeep.
Okay. And for our jury, what is a car hauler, as you understand it?
It's basically a trailer that you put a car on to move it from one place to another.
So if the car wasn't running, how did you and your dad get it on and off the trailer?
I wasn't there. I don't know how it got on the trailer.
Okay. Did you ever see the vehicle for which your dad traded the Firebird?
Yes.
What kind of vehicle was that?
An older Jeep Cherokee,
Okay, what color was it?
white.
Did that vehicle run?
Yes.
Did you ever get to drive that vehicle?
Yes, I did.
Was that vehicle, did your dad give that vehicle to you?
No, he drove it.
Okay. Was it your dad's primary vehicle, as far as you know?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know where that Jeep is today?
No, I don't.
After your dad passed away, do you know what happened to that Jeep?
No, I don't.
Okay. So when you were sitting at the kitchen island, the nook in the kitchen, having coffee with your dad the morning of June 28, 2014, how long did you sit there with him?
15 to 20 minutes.
Okay. And after those 15 or 20 minutes, did you leave the house?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Was anyone else supposed to go to the race with you and your dad that day?
Yes, my girlfriend at the time,
Okay. And what was her name?
Mackenzie.
Okay. And where did Mackenzie live?
She lived in Leesburg.
Okay. So when you left your dad's house after having coffee, where did you go?
To Mackenzie's house.
Okay. And about how long did it take you to get from your dad's house to Mackenzie's house?
From my dad's to Mackenzie's, 20 minutes.
Okay. And when you say 20 minutes, is that one way?
Yes.
Okay. So when you got to Mackenzie's house in Leesburg, did you pick her up? Did she get in your vehicle?
Yes.
Okay. And where did you go after that?
I went back to my dad's house.
Okay. Will, I want to backtrack a little bit, if you don't mind. How would you describe, from your direct observations, your dad's relationship with the defendant?
They're married. They argued. Sometimes it was good. Other times it wasn't.
Will, are you currently married?
Yes.
Okay. Were you at your dad's house 2 days before June 28th, 2014?
Yes, I was.
Would that have been June 26th, 2014?
Yes.
Okay. And what do you recall about being at your dad's house that day?
My dad and Susan were arguing.
Okay. How frequently did you observe them arguing?
I don't know, in a week,
Say that again, I'm sorry.
maybe in a week, once or twice.
Okay. So on June 26, 2014, did you see them arguing?
Yes.
Did you hear them arguing?
Yes.
Okay. What were they arguing about?
Susan made the accusation that my dad was having an affair.
Okay. Did your dad say anything in response to that you heard? Just yes or no. Did he say anything in response to that?
Objection calls for hearsay.
Asking if he said anything, it's not hearsay. I'm not getting to the substance. I'm not offering anything for its truth, Your Honor.
You can objection overruled as to that question.
No, he didn't say anything.
Okay. While Susan was arguing with your dad, you said she accused him of cheating. What exactly did you hear her say, to the best of your recollection?
She was yelling and just that your dad's having an affair. He's cheating on me.
How would you describe the volume of Susan's voice during that argument?
Loud.
Compared to the other arguments you had previously witnessed, was her voice any louder than those arguments?
I'd say about the same.
Okay. So when you witnessed this argument, was anyone else in the room with you other than Susan and your dad?
My girlfriend was there at the time.
Okay. Did you see Susan make physical contact with anyone in the room during that argument?
No.
Okay. All right, I want to come back to the coffee nook, if you don't mind. Did you talk to Susan at all that morning when you were having coffee with your dad?
No.
Did you see Susan at all that morning?
No.
Okay. And on June 26th, this argument that you witnessed, you stated that your dad didn't say anything in response. Did I hear you correctly?
Yes.
Okay. What did you observe from your dad's demeanor during that argument?
He was sitting in his recliner with his elbows on his knees, with his head in his hands, and he just looked at me. He shook his head, kind of had a smirk on his face.
Did he have Did he have the legs kicked out on his recliner, or were his feet on the floor?
His feet were on the floor.
Will, I know reliving the day of June 28, 2014, it may be difficult, so I apologize in advance for some of these questions that I'm getting to. So, after you picked Mackenzie up that day, you drove the 20 minutes to Leesburg, the 20 minutes back. What did you observe when you arrived back at your dad's house?
When I pulled into the driveway, when I pulled in, Susan's car was parked underneath the carport closest to the house in the bay under the carport. So I parked behind her or in front of her, just closer to the roadside. So I cut my truck off and I can hear, it sounded like arguing, like someone yelling.
Could you tell who was yelling?
I had an idea, yes.
Okay, when you said you had an idea, what do you mean by that?
I knew who was yelling.
Okay, who was yelling?
Susan.
Okay. Well, you said you pulled into the driveway. Was your dad's driveway paved?
No.
Would you describe it as a short driveway, a long driveway?
It was longer, yes.
Okay. Did that driveway go directly to the carport?
Yes.
Okay. Was it a double carport or a single carport?
Double.
Okay. Will, when you realized it was Susan yelling, what did you do?
I told my girlfriend at the time that sounds like they're arguing, so stay in the truck. I'm gonna go see what's going on.
Okay. And is that in fact what you did?
Yes.
All right. What did you do next after you got out of your truck?
I walked around the bed of my truck, going around towards the passenger side, and that's when Susan came out of the house. She met me
Okay.
alongside of my truck.
Before you got out of your truck, could you hear what Susan was yelling at all?
Not exactly.
Okay. All right. So when you saw Susan come out of the house, what did you do next?
I stopped. I asked what was going on.
All right. Did she say anything to you when you asked that question?
Yes, she told me not to go inside.
Okay. Was she on the phone when she came out of the house?
Yes.
Okay. Did you know who she was on the phone with?
No.
Did she tell you who she was on the phone with?
No.
Could you hear what she was saying to the person on the phone?
I don't remember exactly what she was saying.
Okay. Will, when she told you not to go into the house, did she tell you anything else?
She didn't say anything else to me.
Okay. Did you observe any physical behavior from her at that time?
What do you mean physical behavior?
Yeah, you said she didn't say anything to you. Did she communicate with you in any way?
Your Honor, I'm going to object to leading.
Did she communicate with him in any way, was the question.
She just told me not to go back in the bedroom, and I asked what was going on. That's
Okay.
it.
Did she say anything to you when you asked what was going on?
No.
Okay. Did she gesture toward you or anything like that when she didn't tell you what was going on?
Yes.
Will, what was that gesture?
She was pointing back towards the back of the house and made like a finger gun with her right hand and put it to her head.
To the right side of her head. Is that
Yeah.
what you're indicating? I'm just for the court record.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And what were you doing with your hand just then for the court record? Just now, what are you doing? We have a court reporter
Okay,
taking everything down. She can't like transcribe like physical.
Making a finger gun,
Okay.
putting it to the right side of my head.
All right. Thank you, Will. What happened after you observed that gesture?
I was confused by what she was asking. So I didn't know what she was trying to say by making that gesture. Eventually, a few seconds later, I found out.
How did you find out?
I'm not sure if she told me or if I just put it together.
Okay. Will, did you follow her instruction not to go into the house?
Yes.
All right. So after you figured out what had happened, what happened next?
I was in shock. I fell to my knees and began crying.
Do you know around what time that interaction occurred between you and Susan?
No, I don't.
Okay. Did law enforcement respond to the scene while you were at the house?
Yes.
Okay. And where were you when law enforcement showed up?
I was beside my truck in the driveway.
Okay. Where was Susan when law enforcement pulled up?
Believe she was beside me.
Okay. From when you arrived at the house, after you picked up Mackenzie, until law enforcement got to the scene, did you see anyone else go in or out of the house?
No.
Okay. Do you recall the first law enforcement individual that you observed at the house?
No.
Okay. Will, were you in the house when the gunshot occurred?
No.
So when law enforcement got to the house, did you speak to any members of law enforcement?
No.
Okay. Did you talk to any first responders that may have otherwise come to the house?
Eventually, I did speak
Okay.
with an officer, yes.
Okay. Did any law enforcement officers test your hands for gunshot residue or anything like that?
No.
Okay. Did they question you at all about anything that had happened in the house?
No.
Okay. So when you said that you eventually spoke to a member of law enforcement, do you recall what you said?
Yes, my girlfriend at the time was still sitting in the truck. She never got out of the vehicle at all. I had to take her to go meet her mom. She didn't need to be around anything that was going on. So I got in my truck and proceeded to leave the house.
Okay. Will, did you and Mackenzie date much longer after that incident?
No.
Do you recall when you and Mackenzie broke up?
No, I don't. Not exactly.
Okay. Will, when law enforcement got to the house, did you see Susan talking to law enforcement?
Yes.
Okay. How would you describe her demeanor when she was talking to law enforcement?
Yelling, upset.
Okay. Do you recall what Susan was wearing?
Yes.
What was she wearing that day?
She was wearing a camouflage, almost like see-through shirt and dark skinny jeans.
Okay. When you say camouflage, is it hunter camo or like military camo?
Like woodland military camouflage.
Okay. Will, what do you currently do for work?
I'm a police officer.
Where are you a police officer?
Opelika, Alabama.
Like, how far is that here from Albany?
Roughly 2 hours.
Okay. How long have you been a police officer?
I've been on the street about 2 years.
Okay. So when you say that you've been on the street, what's your rank in the police department?
Patrolman.
Are you with the Opelika Police Department?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. What was your job before you became a police officer?
I worked on Fort Benning for the Range Division.
Okay. What'd you do there?
Maintain the firing ranges, crew serve ranges, all that stuff.
Okay. So, Will, when Susan was talking to law enforcement, her camouflage and skinny jeans, did you observe anything about her physical appearance other than that?
Yeah.
Okay. What did you observe?
She was put together for the day. Her makeup was done, her hair was done, how she would normally wear it.
How would she
I'm
normally
going to
wear it?
object to relevance. I don't see how what she was wearing or what her makeup has to do with anything at all in this case.
Overruled.
You can respond. Do you need me to repeat it?
Yeah, please.
Okay, yeah. How did she usually have her hair? How did she have her hair done that day?
It was down, but kind of puffy, I guess.
Was it curled? Is that what you mean by puffy?
No, not curled.
Okay. Was the camouflage shirt or top that Susan was wearing, do you recall if it was short sleeved or long sleeved?
It was short sleeve.
Okay. Did she have any jewelry on that day?
Your Honor, I'm going to renew the objection.
Overruled.
Did she have any jewelry on?
Yes.
Do you recall what jewelry?
Not exactly. Rings, bracelets.
Did Susan have on a wedding ring?
No.
Okay. Do you specifically recall looking at Susan's hands that day?
Yes.
Why is that memorable to you?
Certain things in traumatic situations
Okay.
seem to stick out to you.
Did you observe anything on her hands?
Yes.
Will, what did you observe on her hands?
On her left hand, on her ring finger, between her second and third knuckle, I saw what appeared to be blood.
In which hand? Was that her left hand?
Correct. Her left hand she was holding her phone with.
Okay. Did any other of your family members come to the house during this interaction with you and Susan?
After I dropped Mackenzie off, yes.
Okay. And around what time was that? Do you recall?
I don't.
Okay. Which family members came to the house?
My sister was the first one,
And what's your sister's name?
Rachel Embert.
Okay. Who else?
The just family members?
Yes, sir.
Okay. My sister, my mom, my grandmother, my grandfather, my cousin, my mom's sister
Okay.
and husband, I believe.
Okay. Did you say anything to your family members at that time?
While they were there,
Yes, sir.
I don't remember.
Okay. Did you have a conversation with the defendant later that day? That
Yes,
evening?
in the evening, yes.
Okay. What was that conversation about?
What? I guess to get better clarity on what happened, because at that time I knew my dad was dead. I just didn't know exactly how or what happened. So to get better clarity on the incident.
Did you gain that clarity?
She told me. Yeah.
Objection, Your Honor. I'm sorry, I'm not sure who the she is in that statement. If it's
Susan
Thank
told
you.
me.
And Will, what did she tell you?
She said that she was by the computer getting her vapor cigarette. She heard a bang and she ran back to the bedroom.
Did you ever see Susan use her vape?
Yes.
Okay. Will, where was the computer in your dad's house?
Isn't the up against they had like a computer desk up against the wall in the dining room?
Was it in the living room?
No.
Was it in the kitchen area?
No.
Was there a designated office room?
No.
Okay. What room was it in?
In the dining room?
The dining room. Okay. Thank you, sir. Did you ever use that computer for yourself?
I did at one point.
Okay. You said you did it at one point. What did you mean by that? Here,
Yes.
I'll rephrase my. Let me
Okay.
let me rephrase my question to you, sir. Sorry about that. Did your dad let you use that computer?
Yes.
Okay. Did Susan ever tell you anything about that computer?
That the password had been changed and I thought it was weird. And I asked my dad what the password is. He said he didn't know. I asked Susan what the password is and she wouldn't tell me.
Was this before or after Susan and your dad got married?
This is after.
Well, the next day, June 29th, 2014, did you go to your dad's house?
Yes.
Okay. What did you do when you went to your dad's house that day?
I went to get my personal belongings out of my bedroom.
Okay. Were you able to get into the house?
Yes.
Okay. Did you see Susan that day?
Yes.
Okay. What was Susan doing that day?
When I got there or throughout the time I was there?
When you first got there and then throughout. So let's start with when you first got there. What was she doing?
I believe she was standing in the kitchen.
What was she doing in the kitchen?
She was with her sister.
Okay. Do you know her sister's name?
I forgot.
Okay. Had you met her previous to that? Okay.
Yes.
You said you observed Susan later in the day. What did you observe later in the day?
Later is in later in the time that I was there. I was
Yes.
only there 2 hours max.
Okay. So were you there and then you left and came back? Is that what I understand?
On the
Were you-
day after, I only went there once.
Okay, you only went there one time. Okay. Had anything been changed on the house when you came back on the next day?
Yes.
Will, what had changed?
The doorknob and deadbolt.
Will, I just want to make this clear, as clear as possible for the jury, make sure that I understand too. Did your dad's house, did it have a front door?
Yes.
And did it have a door under the carport as well?
Yes.
Which locks were being changed?
The door at the carport.
Which door did you and your dad use most frequently to go in and out of the house?
The door at the carport.
How about your other family members when you saw them come to your dad's house?
The door at the carport.
Did y'all ever use the front door?
No.
Who was changing the locks?
Susan's brother-in-law. It's her sister's husband.
Okay, that was my next question. Did she tell you why she was changing the locks?
I didn't ask.
Okay. Did anybody else from your family come to the house on June 29th, the next day?
Yes.
Who else? Who came to the house?
My sister.
And that's Rachel.
Yes.
Okay. Will, what did Rachel do when you first saw her at the house that day?
She rode there with me. We got there at the same time.
You got there at the same time? Okay.
Yes.
And did you drive both of you there?
Yes.
Okay. Did you observe Rachel at the house that day?
Yes.
All right. Did anyone else come to the house that day while you and your sister were there?
I had a friend meet me there to help take some of my block. I didn't have enough room in my truck, so.
Okay. I got you. Did you witness any arguments that day?
Yes.
Will, who was arguing that day?
It started off as me and Susan. I wouldn't say arguing, I asked a question.
Okay, what did you ask her?
I asked her, I didn't ask her, I said that I wanted to see my dad's will.
Okay. Did you get to see it?
No.
Okay. Did she tell you that you could not see it?
Not verbatim, no.
Okay. Well, what did she tell you, Will?
She told me I don't need to see it and that I'm going to get everything my dad would want me to have.
Okay. And what did you understand that your dad wanted you to have, if you know?
Family heirlooms, for starters. There were other firearms in the house that belonged to my dad. Tools in the garage. His computer. I think that's probably about it.
Okay.
Or maybe his vehicles.
Okay. Will, how many guns did your dad have?
In total, he had 3.
Did he keep them in a gun safe?
No.
Okay. Where did he usually keep them in the house?
He had a 38 revolver that he kept in his nightstand.
Was it a 38 special, like a snub nose revolver?
Yeah, snub nose. He had a 380 that he kept in the bedroom closet, and his Glock he kept in the top drawer of his dresser.
Do you know what kind of Glock it was?
It was a 45.
Okay.
The caliber was a 45.
Do you know what the model was?
I want to say 30, Glock 30.
Okay. Do you carry a gun for your current job?
I do.
What kind of gun do you carry for that job?
Currently,
Yes, sir.
a SIG P320.
Okay. Will, did you ever see your dad shoot a gun?
Yes.
Okay. Did you ever shoot guns with your dad?
Yes.
Okay. Will, when your dad shot a gun, did he shoot it with his right hand or did he shoot it with his left hand?
With his left hand.
And Will, I apologize again for bringing you back to June 28th, but do you know what hand the gun was found in when law enforcement found your dad?
Yes.
How do you know that?
The picture.
Okay. Will, what hand was that gun in?
His right hand.
Did you ever see your dad shoot a gun right-handed?
No.
How often did your dad shoot that Glock, if you know?
When he first got it, he shot it quite a bit.
Did you know whether or not he liked shooting that gun?
It was his favorite one to carry, yes.
Okay. Your Honor, I intend to introduce 4 exhibits for Mr. Will Embert. The defense has indicated they have an objection, so I think we may need to handle that objection before I approach the witness.
Okay. If the jury would take out, this would be a good time to take this might be a good time actually to take a lunch break because we were going to have lunch at 11 today. And we need to handle some other matters outside of your presence. So you're going to be free.